I got way too much sauce with this. I put work and I'm a boss with this. I got game, I'm running off with this. Odell Beckham, boss with this. I got broad booty sauce as shit. Loud packs make me cough with this. Real G's don't talk for shit.
They say the third time's a charm.
I got way too much sauce with this. I put work
Motivated,
I got game, I'm
dedicated,
Odell Beckham,
sophisticated, connected. Young Walt, what up? H-Time, Sauce Walker. Whoa, parlay.
Yo. Welcome to another episode of Sippin' and Trippin'.
What's this, 7?
I think it's number 7.
7 in this hole?
I am your co-host. Why are you already laughing?
Oh, because I already know you about to say something.
I'm your co-host, Miguel Turley.
So that you just gonna be all somber now?
I didn't even want to do it no more.
I'm the other co-host, D White, aka Flight. Let me go ahead and give the real introduction from Miguel. I drown everybody with my waves. I'll pull your girl. Hey.
I'm about to go to sleep.
Come back. Nah, bro.
I'm about to go to sleep.
You can't. We just starting, dog.
You can't come out with no BS. And then you got Daniel back here. I already cut.
Bro, what are you doing? Oh my
Okay.
gosh.
But anyway, since I don't know what they the biggest BSs out of all of us. But anywho, before we get into today's episode, I just wanted to say I didn't even think we was gonna get to an episode 7.
I ain't
be
either.
real.
I
We
ain't
start
either.
off as a joke, and what's crazy is every other day somebody either comes to me or writes me about like the impact of like, oh Miguel, you got a mouthpiece on you, or Devin is the best person on the podcast, which is true.
Oh my God. We know you ain't hearing that. I know you ain't hearing that.
Can I finish
My
talking?
fault. You go ahead. My fault.
And then, something really hit me this week is that a guy I met about a year and a half ago. I played ball with him at 6 in the morning. He's a little lighter than me. He's on the wider side. And he before we started hooping, he literally sat there. He's like, "Hey Miguel, I was listening to your podcast." I was like, "Oh, you were?" And he listened to last week's about the Boston Jean trial.
Oh, okay.
And he was like, "Yeah, I brought my wife over there." So that took me back. I'm like, "Oh wow." He was like, "Yeah, we were watching on YouTube." And I was like, "Goodness." He was like, "Yeah, I've never actually been able to sit there and see like the reaction. I'm not around that often."
Right.
And he never gets to see like black people talk about the struggles of going through like
What we go through.
prejudice and stereotypes and stuff like that. And he was like, "Man, it's some stuff I need to share." Like he wants to share it with his he has a group, and I think it was a book club, and he was like, "I wanted to just show them because they're not exposed to that either." And he wanted I was like, "Man, yes, a lot of cussing." He's like, "Yeah, the cussing doesn't bother me. It's just I just never knew how y'all felt or what y'all were going through." And it just brought me to the fact that a lot of people who never really have to go through that situation or never have to live in fear constantly are not ignorant, but they just don't know it may be going on.
Right.
But that definitely took me back a little bit, is because we hit him to the point where he didn't just want to listen for 30 or more minutes. He actually wanted to get his wife involved and then also get his friends involved. So it's like,
No, that's dope.
it's making some sort of a difference.
Yeah, we doing something, man. I mean, like you said at first, we just started this as a joke. Mm-hmm. Just give a little preview of what we do on the daily. Just BSing or just talking real, or just conversations from, a couple of the 215 homies. But the fact that we starting to, I guess for lack of better terms, impact people.
Yep.
That's what makes everything dope about this. So
It is amazing.
that's
But
dope.
before we go any further, we're going to get these shots going. You want one since you back there?
Yeah, since you over here.
It's unleaded.
Yeah.
Go ahead and get you one.
I'm not excited about this shit.
I took one earlier and it burned my lungs.
You want to say what's up to the people?
Oh,
What's up, guys? My name Charles.
okay. Well, let's get this shot out the way so you can go to sleep.
Yeah, you need to go Snoop.
Smell it. Like, this was the cheap one.
Man.
Y'all put me in charge of getting the
bro,
liquor.
this look like Bud Light Platinum.
Y'all put me in charge and I got the cheapest thing in the liquor store.
Miguel got
Boy, don't.
I want y'all to see this.
Boy.
This look like a Bud Light Platinum bottle. Like, I thought we was about to take a shot of beer. But this is Platinum 7-time distilled champion of the vodka world.
It's from the Dominican.
So,
He chosen one if you make it.
be extra smooth.
Oh, it gets smooth once it come out.
Man,
But it's not smooth going down.
let's go ahead and take this shot, yo.
Oh, man.
Nah, guys. The last time you gonna see me on this podcast.
Oh my gosh. God, bro.
It was the cheapest one.
You want to start calling me when you make this.
I told you I got the shots this week.
All right, guys. I'm gonna go pass out.
You gotta start telling me when you get these shots.
My body taste.
I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry.
Put some hair on your chest.
God, that is horrible. Oh, I don't know if it's because I don't drink vodka like that or what.
Cause you need the man up. It ain't that bad.
Man, hell no.
It ain't that bad. Man up.
I
Listen.
can't get water. Hold on.
That help. You good now? You done playing around? He just killed his whole bottle of what is that? I couldn't drink it like that.
God, I don't mess with vodka at all.
So,
Into my real drink.
as y'all know, last week we talked about the Botham Gene. I said dream.
That vodka shot getting to you already.
I've been busy all day. I've been working a lot. But we talked about the Botham Gene trial and how that turned out. And I don't know if you actually heard Devan Chocolate White. Have you heard about what happened just yesterday?
Yeah.
What happened? I'm not even gonna butcher her name. But
We're just gonna call her, I guess all of her friends and her family call her Tay.
Tay.
Tay Jefferson. We don't want to butcher her name, but may she rest in peace. It's another unfortunate incident, which is it's getting to the point to where we can't even we're feeling like we can't even be safe in our own homes. For those that don't know, around 2:30 in the morning, a concerned neighbor of hers called the police, and
The
what I
thing
heard,
is-
it wasn't even an emergency line,
Yeah,
a non-emergency line that they called.
And he said he emphasized that he didn't want anything to happen. He just wanted them to check.
Yeah, exactly.
And so that's the first thing that
Off top.
catches my attention.
Yeah, when you call a non-emergency line, that's one. And then you reiterate that you don't want anything to happen. That's two. So, but like I said, for those that don't know, non-emergency line was called by our neighbor.
In Fort
Just to
Worth.
check. In Fort Worth, Texas. So it's
So about 40 minutes
especially-
away from Botham.
Yeah.
I need to let y'all know Dallas and Fort Worth are two different cities. Because people really think they think it's just one big city, but it's two different cities, about 45 minutes apart.
Yeah.
We don't get caught in traffic, but it's always traffic.
Always.
But yeah,
Or construction.
oh man, they've been working on the same highways since
Forever.
I moved into 01. And they still working on that same highway.
But before we get too far off and down, because we go in on Dallas traffic forever. But
Good.
the cops showed up. They went and checked, and ultimately, at the end, unfortunately, a cop told Tay to put her hands up. And as she put her hands up,
It wasn't
he
even.
didn't even give her a chance. It was like
It
a
was
second.
like-
Like,
it's
put
like,
your hands up, pow! And she succumbed to her injuries and died on the scene.
Like, he killed her in front of her nephew in her home.
That's crazy.
All because the neighbor sat there and like a lot of people are saying like, why didn't you go over there and just check on her if you felt she was in danger? Like maybe he didn't know her like that. And so what he did was, what should have been the right thing was, the doors open at 2 a.m. It could just be hot. Texas be hot, and she could just be wanted open, just relaxing. And the cop, it from the video, it didn't look like he went to the door that was open and tried to go in. He just went to the side or the kitchen window.
Yeah.
He seen somebody in there, and he just shot.
Yeah. he said that I guess some alarmed him to shoot or something to that extent. But
I mean, you know how they do. They
it's
we are as black people, and I want to say that because I mean, as I understand that more people that aren't black are listening, we are guilty until proven innocent.
Yeah.
It's just unfortunate a lot of us don't get to prove our innocence when we're in that situation. So,
like, we will never know, like, why she had a door open. Like, you can't, like, the fact that they, like, it's, and we, like we said last week on the pod, we know there's good cops out there, but the stigma is for the cops is, what you doing?
This shirt made me look big. My fault. Carry on,
stupid. But the stigma for cops, especially in the African American community, is shoot first and ask questions later. And it's very, very unfortunate that this young lady had to lose her life. And she was literally just playing video games with her nephew. She was caring for her, I believe it was her mother or her grandmother.
I didn't even get that deep into the story.
Yeah,
I saw the video and I was just like, it took me off guard how quick that he said from putting your hands up. Like
to shoot, yeah.
If I'm sitting in my kitchen, I got all these windows in my house, and I'm in the kitchen or I'm somewhere in the house and somebody said put your hands up at 2:00 in the morning. My first instinct is to get away from that issue. So I'm not going. That's my first thing is to run or get to a place of safety in my home. And he didn't even give her time
at all.
And from what I understand is when they searched the home, they found a gun.
So that's another thing I was gonna get into. They searched the home, found the gun, and now you know what's crazy is first off, why does that even come into play?
I heard it was in the bedroom.
So did she get shot in the bedroom?
I don't think so. I think she was in the kitchen or the living room or something like that.
The fact that they even that's just horrible that they gonna go to the gun. Now they gonna try and find some type of connection to the gun and everything. But
they're about to pull up her MySpace.
They gonna go deep. Black Planet, some more stuff, man. Like it's ridiculous. The fact that they even like in the body cam and they showed the little still shot of the gun, 2 shots of the gun in the bedroom. Why is that even being brought up? It's not like she had a chance to go and get the gun. You said put your hands up and shot. Before you could even put a punctuation at the end of your sentence, there was a bullet flying at this young woman. And you literally just took another life, another innocent life.
It fits the narrative that we are scary. And so that's why they gotta let people know that it was a gun. And so he feared for his life. Just like
it's a shame.
Just like Amber said, she feared for her life, even though he had a bowl of ice cream.
He feared for her life going into the wrong apartment. He feared for his life, and man.
It's pretty sad. Like I said, I mean, I thought that I only had to worry about the apartment. We moved out the apartment like 6 months ago or whatever. Now I got to worry about a house too.
It don't matter.
And the thing is,
you gotta be on 10s everywhere you go.
And the thing is, like, I feel for the neighbor because he was like, man, maybe I shouldn't even have called.
And the crazy thing is that you're gonna have those people. And it's like you said, why didn't he just go over there and check? Yeah. Like he already dealing with enough grief as it is because he thought he was doing the right thing, and now you're gonna have people say, why didn't you just go over there? Now you just took it.
Yeah, like, I try to blame him.
And it's not his fault. I felt like he did the right thing. I mean,
but
at the same time, I mean, I don't know. I think he was just a concerned neighbor. Like he said, like you said, he probably don't even mess with her like that. He just, see her here and there.
Saw the door open at 2 a.m.
Yeah, and it was
I can't put myself in his shoes because I go to bed at 8. So at 2:30, I wouldn't even been awake.
True. I mean, there's no lies told there. There's no lies told. I'm surprised we're doing this pod right now.
Boy,
you said 8:30. I was like, ooh, that's a little late.
I almost didn't make it. I was in bed dozing when you said you was coming over.
And you told me 8:30.
Well, I be tired. I gotta conserve all my energy for this upcoming week when I'm sleeping in the Bahamas.
But man, we just say rest in peace to Tay Jefferson.
That's crazy.
Prayers up for her family, especially her nephew. No, because he was in the house.
And if the thing is, I think the nephew was living with her.
That's one thing I didn't see. They said that she was watching her nephew. She lived with her mother or grandmother, but her mother or grandmother was very, very sick, and she was caring for her. Like she made it a point. That's what she did, and she was a smart individual. Everybody that came in contact with her said that she was a nice person, wonderful person. She would do anything to help anybody out. But yet here we are with another.
Again,
almost too soon.
Almost exactly a year later, a week after the Botham trial.
Yeah,
it's the same situation, and we already know is that the first thing they do is they're gonna sit there and they're gonna try to criminalize us, or they're gonna try to make us out to be the villain.
Yeah.
And they're gonna sit there and try to dig up everything in their past that has nothing to do with this situation.
Nothing to do with the situation. Just like that gun had nothing to do with that situation.
It didn't.
Like if she had a gun, it's for times like this. If it wasn't the cops, you want to be able to protect somebody coming into her home, and like she wasn't even in the room. If we're not mistaken, you said it was the kitchen. She
wasn't in her bedroom.
She was the gun was in the bedroom, but she got shot in her kitchen, and so she's nowhere near the gun. She can't run to go and get the gun because before she could put her hands on, you shot her dead. So
I don't even understand why the gun was out.
Bruh.
The door, you could have a doorbell. If you robbing the place, you gonna have flashlights. The lights was on.
That's another thing. The door was open. Why are you snooping around the backyard and everything? Just go to the door and knock and say it's the police.
And he already had his gun out.
Bro, the door is open. Knock on the door and say it's the police.
Yep. It's scary.
Like, it don't make no sense. You went around the house, creeping around the house, and shoot her through her kitchen window. When all you had to do was go up to the porch, knock on the door, say it's the police. You still have your gun, not drawn, but you could, be there just in case it's something fishy. Just in case,
I'm pretty sure that's protocol. That's to have it on her just in case, but
I don't look, man.
He was ready. He was ready for war.
He was ready for war.
He already knew she was a criminal.
It's almost gives you the feeling, it does give you the feeling that it's like, yeah, I'm shooting somebody. Like he got in his car to go to the location, and in his mind, it's like, I'm gonna shoot somebody. That's the feeling that it gave me when I heard the story.
It is, and I see a bunch of people who are Blue Lives Matter. That means they support the cops no matter what. And the thing is, I don't support Blue Lives Matter. I don't support Black Lives Matter that much, because they sit there and they're on the situation and they support it no matter. Like, every black person that commits a crime is not innocent,
right? And
every cop is not innocent cop, or it wasn't justified killing. And so when you sit there, you look at Blue Lives Matter. They always sit there and they say, you don't know what the cop had to go through that day. You don't know what they've been stressed out. They have a lot of work to do. It's like, I don't even understand why that matters when we don't sit there and give that benefit of the doubt to anybody else in the work field.
Exactly.
Like, even with Amber, they was like, she worked a 13-hour day. I know people that work 13-hour days right now that didn't walk into the wrong apartment. At the end of the day, this dude deserved it. He went through, I think it's like a 3-month training to be a cop. I mean, you gotta it take like 8-9 years to be a doctor. It take at least 3 to 7 years to be a lawyer. It take a few months to take somebody's life at their kitchen window.
It's sad.
It is sad. Like I said, it just makes me even more afraid, because, like, if 1 second is all the time you have to react to a person that doesn't even identify themselves as a cop, what the hell am I supposed to do?
Oh, man.
Like, I don't know. What am I supposed to do if you sit there and say, put your hands up?
Us as young African American men, I know for me, it gives me chills, man. It gives me chills. Because I'm blessed. The good Lord blesses me to see a new day. Mm-hmm. He blessed me to see 29 years. And at the last, I've always felt this way. And it's unfortunate, but I was always taught this. But now it's like the last 5-6 years, it's like it's scary. Like I really gotta be on guard because the people that's supposed to protect and serve is now taking our lives.
Who are you supposed to call? It's like
I can't call the cops because it's
even for a wellness check.
Yeah, like it could easily be turned. Like if I call the cops and they come, it could easily be like, "You sure this your spot?"
Yeah.
Like, and it's crazy and the people that is listening, y'all may think that sound crazy, but this is real life for us. Like this is actually reality for us.
I've gotten weird looks in this neighborhood.
Man, I get weird looks at the apartment complex. I get weird looks when I go anywhere.
And even back to, I told the guy, I was like, yeah, this, like, when I go to grocery stores, even if it can be freezing outside, I leave my jacket in the car. Yeah. I don't want to give people the idea that I'm stealing something. Like, I can't just afford to be careful, like I said before. I got to be careful.
Careful.
And so, it seemed like it's a war against us at times because we don't know who exactly we can call. Cops, we don't know exactly what mood they're in. And so, what is there for us to do? If we hear somebody saying, put your hands up, my first instinct is to get the hell out of that situation. If they don't identify themselves as, oh, I'm your friend, it was a joke, or I'm a cop, or this, like, I'm ducking out and dipping.
Simple as that.
So, we just wanted to talk on that situation for a little bit. That was the Tay situation. I'm gonna just call it Tay in Fort Worth, and that hit home for me because I moved to Fort Worth, Texas in 2001, and I lived there up until 2008 when I came to Oklahoma. And the crazy part is, I didn't know race was really an issue until I moved to Oklahoma. I lived in Detroit where I saw very few white people, but I didn't get bad vibes from them. Maybe I was too young. In Texas, the school.
I keep pausing and whatnot.
I don't know if it's the camera. I think it's the software.
Could be, but yeah, man.
But yeah, on the day Obama got elected, there was a black girl and a white girl. I don't even know if they've talked to this year, but they were going at each other's heads literally today. Like in November 2008, they were going at each other's heads on Facebook. And it just blows my mind that even 10 years or 11 years later, that these issues are not just only here, but are getting worse. Mm-hmm. And maybe it's not getting worse. Maybe it's always been like this, but the fact that we got cameras on cops and we got phones that record in HD, we see this all the time, but it's definitely scary.
Yeah. Well, rest in peace to Tay Jefferson. Prayers up for her family. Prayers up for her nephew.
Who watched his aunt die.
Prayers up for
How is he supposed to even trust a cop at this point?
He can't. 8 years old. He can't. He can't. But let's go ahead and let's get into this topic.
We're gonna move on to something. Our next topic of today was we wanted to talk about religion. Religion, because I know we beefing right now.
I don't even. Like,
we beefing, cuz.
When you say that, I don't even know what the beef is.
You Catholic, cuz.
Oh, this.
You Catholic. And the thing is, what you may not know, you Catholic. I was brought up a 7-day Adventist. Mm-hmm. And what people don't know what 7-day Adventist is, we believe the Sabbath is on Saturday.
Right.
We also believe the Catholics changed the Sabbath to Sunday.
See, now this is stuff like this is informative to me because I didn't know all of this.
Yeah,
I didn't know all of this. I'm gonna be, and my mama listens. My mama listens. My grandmother listens, and they may be upset with me after this.
You ain't been to a Catholic church in years.
Years, man. I went to a Catholic church once since I've been in Oklahoma.
I went more recently than you.
Twice.
Catholic church, for a person like me, was the weirdest experience I had at a church. The very first time I went. Y'all are so by the book.
For those that don't understand, like there's no changing the mass.
None.
There's not a lot of people call when they go to church they call it service. This is mass.
Mass.
It's mass. But it changes if the Pope changes something, then the church changes. From what I understand,
what he means is that on what's today, the 13th.
Mm-hmm.
This Sunday of every October, y'all do the exact same thing
in the midst of
every single time.
Yeah.
And the crazy part is that your preacher or father, I don't know what priest, he only get up there and preach for about 5 minutes.
Look, man, anytime I was at a Catholic church, I can't say like today. I went to People's today, and me and Kayla went to People's today, and we got a good sermon from a visiting pastor, good word, and I left church like, I always say, if I leave church to where it feels like if I'm in church and it feels like I'm to the point to where I want to cry because it's impacting, like it's speaking to me, it's off top, great service. That's how I felt today. I cannot say not one time that I've been to a Catholic church and I was raised in a Catholic home, strong Catholics. I can't say that when I go to church, I'm like, oh, wow. I can never say that because it's so organized and it's like, very okay, organized. So now we got to do this. We're going to sing these same 2-3 songs and then we're going to get into, this prayer. Yeah. And then we're going to kneel, then we're going to stand, then we're going to sit and listen to the priest for 5-10 minutes. Then he's going to go into getting everything ready for the communion. Then we're going to get communion. Then he's going to give the final blessing, and then we out.
The thing is, I think it's safe to say in the last 11 years since I've known you, I've probably been to the Catholic Church more than you.
You have. You have. I tell and the good thing is that I'm glad, like my grandparents, my mother, like my whole family are strong Catholics. Strong Catholics. Except for, my mom's oldest sister, but she's strong Christian. Yeah. Which is great.
And the thing is, what I've learned is I will always say I'm Seventh Day Adventist if anybody's ever asked. Nobody asks me. I don't really talk about religion, race, or a lot of stuff in person because people don't know how to.
They don't know how to have a conversation without feeling offended.
Yeah.
You can't give your opinion because then they're gonna try to change your opinion and make you agree with them. Yeah. Therefore, it becomes an argument, and then friendships get turned and everything. So. Yeah, I understand where you're coming from on that.
Growing up, I brought up Seventh Day Adventist, but my family, we had a choir, and like churches all over the country, like paid the choir to come and sing for them. That's how big they were. They even went to London. They sang in London, and so I've seen the Baptist church. I've seen a lot of them, but after I moved to Oklahoma, going to Church of Christ, Baptist, 7-Day, Catholic, I learned that Christian-based churches all they say the same thing. They have the same message. They just present it in a different way. But the Catholics, like I said, they're by the book. When I walked into there, like y'all did that, everything by the book. I was like, cool, I'm about to walk up here and get some of the blood of Christ, give some of that bread. He was like, oh.
You can't.
Oh, shit. I had to walk. I only see kids walking up there. I had to walk up there like this, and he just blessed me.
One of the 7 sacraments, bro.
That was it.
You gotta go through catechism classes. You gotta go, and
that's like
getting the first Holy Communion, and
that's like getting a whole college credit. That's how it is, from what I heard. And any other church I went to, you just sat there. The only time I didn't get the blood of Christ is my mom was like, "Nah, you're gonna hold off on this one." That's when I realized it was like a little, there was a little percentage in it was wine. It wasn't grape juice that day. But it's crazy. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I looked online because I noticed that different type of Christian-based churches, they've actually mixed together. They started mixing together to present to more of the crowd. So I was like, cool, let me look and see if Catholics, because my ex was a Catholic. And that's why I went so many times. And I was like, let me see if 7-Day and Catholics, let me see if they good. And I looked and they're like, oh, nope, they beefing. It's because the Catholics changed the Sabbath to Sunday. If you look at any calendar, even look on your iPhone, I'm not trying to preach to you, but they're on two different sides. You look at Sunday, you look at Saturday. Saturday stops the week and it goes that way. Yeah. And that's what I believe, but I'm not about to sit there and preach it to anybody because I understand that it's the same message. And I can go and sit through the same message as long as you're not disrespect anything that I'm about, I can listen to you.
No, that's exactly how I feel. I just can't look. Once again, mama, grandma.
You just told your mama you went only one time.
No, look.
I think I remember the time you went.
No, I went twice.
Oh, okay.
I went twice. I went once by myself.
Don't try to make up for it.
No. I went twice. I went once by myself. This was both during college too. I went once by myself, and then once with
Don't say that name.
With the homies.
Oh, okay.
I wasn't gonna say that. It was with the homies.
Oh, okay.
Two of the homies, and they was like sitting there like
It's
looking
weird.
at me, and I'm like, I told them beforehand. I said, this is going to be different than any church you've ever been to. But like I was going to say, Mama, Grandma, I apologize, but Catholic church is boring.
I thought Church of Christ was different because they don't even use like music.
No, everything's acapella.
And I was like, man, this is different. And then I went and sat in the Catholic church, and I was like, man, I want to go back to Church of Christ. Catholic church is weird. If you just go, like, after a while, I got used to it, and I was like, oh.
I can't think of the right word, and I don't want to be insensitive to, strong Catholics that are out there. It gives you that weird feeling because you look at you got Stations of the Cross, the 12 stations of him carrying the cross and everything, and then you got statues of Jesus and Mary and Joseph, and you got candles everywhere. And
I'm gonna be real with you. Different. After that first time I went with my ex, the way that I described it to her was it was a cult. That's what it felt like to me.
I can see that.
I was like, I'm never going back. She was like, just go back one more time. And like, I went back again. It was still weird. It wasn't as weird because I was used to it. And then as I kept going, I'm like, man, this is the exact same thing every time. It's not as bad. The preacher gets up there for 7 minutes. He has a good message. It's 7 minutes.
I believe he has a good message. I can't sit here and tell you that all of my time going to Catholic church back home in Houston, I can't sit here and say I remember a message though.
I'm going to just sit there and say that the best thing about the Catholic church is if last week was 40 minutes, this week about 40 minutes. Like, going to the churches I went to, the preacher be like, all right, I'm about to wrap it up. And then it take another 50 minutes to wrap it up. And then you got to do communion, and you got to do another offering. The Catholic church be like, all right, that's it. They go through, they walk the cross back, and that's it. That is it. They play that little instrument. And then that's all you got to go through in that day.
Why it sound like you about to start singing Fly Like an Eagle?
I don't know, but it seemed like y'all summoning something. I don't know what it was, but I learned to block it out after a while.
Look, I go to, if my family is going to church when I'm in Houston, I'll go to Catholic church.
Yeah.
But I mean, I just don't. I always look for something. Like I look for the priest or the preacher, the pastor, whoever is giving the word, giving the sermon. I look to get something out of it.
I see what you're saying.
And with that, I can't sit here and say that I remember a time. I'm not gonna say that there wasn't a time. I can say that I don't remember a time where.
Do you remember the time?
I remember a time where I gotten a good word from it. My grandparents probably have. My mama probably has. My aunts probably have. Me personally,
You wasn't trying to hear it.
well, look, man, I was falling, at the age of 9 or 10, I was falling asleep in the pew. I was getting in trouble for falling asleep in church because it's one of them, it sounds like the beginning of Halo.
It do. It's exactly how, that's the best way to describe it. Halo. The intro to Halo, that's how it sounds.
The first time I played Halo, I think my mom and them bought me the game Halo just because the theme song.
Probably.
I think that's the only reason why
They didn't know it was killing them.
Yeah, they didn't know it was killing aliens and everything. But the Catholic Church is very, very different for those that never stepped foot inside of the Catholic Church. It's very different.
Yeah, but I can honestly say that I'm definitely still Seventh Day. I'm more so a follower of Christ. When it comes to religion per se, I've been drifting away. More so because I still believe in God, still believe the Sabbath is Saturday. But I feel like one of the last times I went to church in Oklahoma, it was when I was definitely depressed. I went to a church. I'm not gonna say the name because some of us that's watching have been there. But I did everything that previous weeks that was said to do to get out of my depression. When I was listening, like you said, a lot of messages hit me, and there was another. The next week, the preacher actually was like, "Okay, I brought a guest in today," but he said, "Some of you are going through stuff. Some of you are going through your obstacles, and you're not able to get out of it. It's because you're not giving 10% of your income." The first 10%, and it was like I felt I was already depressed, but it was like I'm giving what I can, but I'm being guilted into give more. And then the guy that he brought in that week actually preached the entire sermon about tithes. About offering. And I was like, man, that was like the first time I really understood that the church is turning into a business. They don't get taxed. Okay, Dave. They don't get taxed. So, and if you look at some of these preachers nowadays, you got some preachers that are sitting there saying they need a private jet. You got other preachers that got Mercedes. The guy I knew lived a very modest lifestyle. He was poor. And if you were sitting there trying to preach about him, I don't understand how you can have this huge house, these very, very, very nice cars, and then the people at the bottom of your congregation are struggling to pay rent, but they're paying that 10%. And so that's when it was just like, man, this is more so a business than a church. Like, even like when I grew up, on Saturday, there wasn't no what we going to eat after this. We went downstairs. They had food prepared for us. They used the money that we offered to feed not only the congregation but the community. Churches I go to around here don't got that. It's honestly it's mind blowing. That's what made me go away from church. And I mean, the last time I went was 7th Day, and we didn't have that issue. But a lot of churches I'm going to now, it's more so looks like it's about the money to me.
I feel you. I mean, the church, like I said, today the church we went to, obviously, People's Church. I feel like that's one of the true, down to earth. We want to make sure we take care of people. Churches out there. They've helped schools. They've helped, people in other countries, people in other states. But this is, it's a sensitive subject, but it's one of those things that I wouldn't know because I'm not diving into where is my money going. I'm giving my 10%, what I can give. I'm giving that because I feel like, I'm giving that back to God because He's blessed me with so much. That's why I'm tithing. And when I tithe, I don't ever feel pressured to. But I will say if I was to go into a new church, a new congregation, and they really pushing home tithing, I'm going to be turned away.
Yeah. Because
now it just seems like you're not even here to try to change people's lives, to try and help people grow, to pray over people, to have people change their life and turn to God. You sitting here just worried about money. And that seems like a seventh sin to me. It seems like greed.
Yeah, I grew up in the church, going every week, even when I didn't want to go to, listening to sermons, and I never remember hearing a sermon being about offering and tithing.
Yeah. Never
in my life. And that's when I heard that, it was just like, man, I'm already at the bottom, but now I'm feeling worse because I cannot give the 10%. Mm-hmm. And so that's when I started shying away a little bit more not from the church, but because I still follow God, I still pray multiple times a day. It's just from that type. Like, even like the churches that you see nowadays, the church you went to, People's Church, mm-hmm. It don't look like the churches we went to growing up.
No, not at all.
It looked like a business. Like, and I understand coming to the church, they say come as you are. When I grew up, I was dressed down.
Oh yeah.
Down. I even had to have the church socks on. I had to have a suit on, or I had to be what would be now fresh. Like nowadays, they said that you can come in shorts, and you can come as you are. I'm just saying, it's evolved, and it's a lot different than what I was used to. It's a lot different than what you used to. I mean, there's times where I went into church growing up. It's like I seen a girl come in the dress. She went to the club too the day before. We went to the same club. We was out there together. I got a little dance. But that's a different subject. That's a different topic.
This boy wild, man. Look, like I was gonna say, there's been times where I went to church and basketball tournaments happen, and we always go to the early service, and so I would be in there just because we had a game. I had a game literally about 45 minutes to an hour after the service ended, so no point in going home. You know, Houston's a big city, got to go to the other side of town. So I would go in there with my uniform. But other than that, I had to be dressed nice.
Yeah.
I mean, it was now I wouldn't say it was suits all the time. It wasn't slacks and a polo all the time. But I had to be nice. I had to be dressed nice every
It
time I
was
went.
slacks and a polo every single Saturday. If I came out that room and I didn't have on slacks and a polo, at the very least, it was change or get your ass beat. that was my two options. There was no plan C.
It's crazy how religions are so different to the little things. Like, you gotta dress a certain way to go to church.
Yeah.
It's crazy how different things is, and it's crazy. What I don't like is, like, you know, certain any type of people. I don't even know. It doesn't matter what religion they are. The ones that try to push, like, make you be a believer of God.
I don't understand it.
I don't understand. You know where it happens the most at too? In Vegas.
Oh yeah, I seen that. We was out there.
You
doing
was out there. You got people standing, like, people in Vegas and just enjoy vacation, have a good time, and you got people out there. You're going to hell. I'm going to hell because I want to have a good time. Like, that don't make sense. Like, those are the people that frustrate me the most.
You're not supposed to judge, and that's the crazy part about Christianity. You are not supposed to judge. You're supposed to love thy neighbor. And it's like in 2019, it's like love thy neighbor unless they're homosexual, unless they had premarital sex, unless they put a lot of asterisks on it. And that just reminds me of just like when I worked at CarMax, like before you even got there, like two of my closest friends, one was my manager, but two of my closest friends, I mean, one wasn't my manager, but I'm sitting there, we were close. And I remember I went into their office and we were just talking. I just said, do you believe in God? And she said, I'm apostolic. I think that was the word.
Apostolic. Atheist?
No.
Apostolic?
No. They're going to have to probably correct me. I'm a little late. You have to look it up. But I said, I don't know what that... Look it up. I don't know. I said, I don't know what that means. She said, I'm apostolic. And I was like, what does that mean? And she said, it's not that I don't believe in Jesus. It's just that I don't care. And she was like, if he exists, then great. If he doesn't, then oh well. And I was like, oh wow, me being a believer in Christ, and I was like, okay, and that was it.
So from what it says, apostolic is just basically relating to the apostles, and they follow.
It's not the right word, then.
So I mean,
it's not. Oh, I'm just lit.
So it ain't atheist.
It's not atheist.
Because she said if there is a God, cool.
There's not. Oh, I wish I could call her up, but it's late. I'm gonna bring it up on the next episode. I'm just lit. That shot messed me up. But there is a word for it. She just doesn't care too much about it.
It is what it is.
And that, like, literally, when I worked at CarMax, she was my closest friend because at that point when I asked her if she believed in God, she just said that, and I was like, oh, okay. And my next move was we moved on to the next conversation. It wasn't like I judged her for her actions or anything like that, or she judged me like, oh, why do you believe in him, or why do you do this, or why? Like, some people, if I sit there and I tell them I believe, they'll be like, oh, why do you believe in this mythical creature? And I'm like, why do you even gotta go there? Like, I believe you asked me a question, I do. I'm like, I'm not gonna change it, no matter what you can sit there, because the reason why I believe, for people who don't understand, is that when I was going through my depression, when I had nothing else, the only thing that I held on to was the belief that God had more for me. If I didn't believe in that, I didn't believe in anything else, I would have been killed myself. And so that was the belief that I had. Even now, you can come to me and give me 100% proof that God doesn't exist, and I'm still gonna go say my prayers at night.
Same.
And so, and that's just how I am. And I don't understand how people can call themselves Christians if they're going out there judging people off of their you a girl and you like girls. Like, what does it matter? You just don't gotta talk about it. If you don't want to see, the great thing about being me, I don't like PDA. I don't like seeing PDA. If I don't want to see a dude and a dude kiss, I can easily look the other way.
Simple as that.
Like, people get so involved, like, why are you doing this, or why, or even the one thing now, it's like, why are you in our country speaking Spanish? Like, if you don't want to hear them, then go somewhere else.
Move around.
Why are you
God
using
gave
energy?
you 2 feet to walk away. Use them.
Like, Christians are probably the most judgmental people on the planet.
Yeah, arguably the most judgmental people.
I believe they are.
Yeah, I agree.
They sit there, they judge you about anything. They call you out on you having sex. They call you out on being gay. They call you out on all this other things. I don't care. If you gay, be gay. You a dude, you like dudes. You know what that mean to me? That mean that's one less person I gotta compete with to get a girl. And you took somebody else with you?
That's two.
Come on, now you my nigga. Come on. Why? I'm now about to be against you. You gay. You took another dude with you. Come on now, we buds.
All right,
Don't hit on me.
Don't hit on me. We good.
We good. I have no problem with you. But Christians seem like that's just such a horrible thing. And I have yet to see where it says in the Bible that you cannot date another dude. Word for word. I mean, Christian, they always bring up multiple scriptures that can be interpreted different ways from a Bible that's being rewritten and rewritten and rewritten over the years. But nothing says that you cannot sit there and do that. From what I've seen. I could be wrong, but it's from what I've seen. And so I sit there, what I believe in when I say I'm a follower of Christ is that I believe that he loved thy neighbor. And my thy neighbor is that gay person, that white person, that girl that came from the club in the same dress.
The dude that's wearing shorts and sandals.
Yeah,
church.
I'm gonna love you no matter what. And even if you did something horrible, I'm gonna still love you to an extent, because that's what I'm trying to be, a follower of Christ, not of the religion. And the religion, I think, is turning into more of a money pool. It's turning into more of a manipulative type of deal. It turned into more of a mind control deal. And so that's what I believe is going on with religion in my time period. So
I feel you. I completely agree.
But to people, I still love God. Still believe him.
Of course.
And so that's where I stand. And it's just that it's just hard to go back to these churches that are preaching about tithing and offering in a sermon. When I didn't grow up, I didn't hear that at all growing up. In all the churches I've been through, I never heard that. I could have just been lucky and didn't go to the right service to hear that, but
nah, man, I feel you. That's why I'd rather go to a non-denominational church, where it's more so we just gonna talk about everybody in there believe in God. We are all followers of Christ. I don't have to worry about.
That's where it should end at. Like
that's where exactly, and it's crazy because now when you throw religions on there, now it's everybody clicked up.
Yeah,
that's all it is. Religion is a huge clique.
Like everything else going on right now.
That's it. It's just a clique. That's it. Like it don't matter it doesn't matter what religion you are, what religion any of the other homies are, what religion Caitlin is. It doesn't matter as long as you believe in God. That's all I care about. Because if you don't, that's fine. I'm not gonna force God upon you. That's not me. This is
one of the first conversations I had about religion, because I don't talk about that even on this podcast when it comes about race. I don't talk about race. I don't talk about race, religion, and there was another one on top, politics, because
I sure as hell don't talk about
there's
politics.
no reason to. Is people gonna keep? They're stuck in their ways. A lot of these things are more so like gangs than people believe. It's like you have their cliques, people are willing to die for them, and they take it to the extreme. And I'm just not that individual that I can't just be stuck on something.
Right.
Like I said, I know that when I say I'm Seventh Day, the only thing that I follow from them that strictly is that the Sabbath is on Saturday. I can understand where Catholics come from on some things, where Church of Christ, Baptists, all of them come from. It's just that when I speak on what I speak on, I'm Seventh Day. But people take that to heart, and it's honestly sad.
It is.
So
I mean, it's very sad, but it's just like with everything, man. Everybody takes stuff hard. Everybody got their opinion about something, and they can't. You can never have a conversation like just a real life adult conversation without somebody getting in their feelings real quick, especially about those three things.
I can tell you that the best female I've been with has been a preacher's daughter, though. Okay.
So what you telling me is that stereotype of preacher
I can't
kids are
say
the worst?
I only been with one, but
So what you saying is I can't say that I know a preacher's son, and you know the preachers, they always say preachers' kids are the worst. I will say I did know a kid. He used to hoop with me on the high school team. He was a preacher's son, and that boy was wild.
I don't know about dudes, but that daughter I knew.
I ain't know no preacher's daughters. So I'm assuming by this laugh, she was
That's the only relationship I regret messing up.
Oh my gosh, bro. That can be taken so many different ways, bro.
And now we friends on Facebook, Instagram. But I follow all my exes. They all follow me on there because we didn't end on a horrible note. Or if we did, we mended the situation at a certain point.
You're a good person, dog.
I had to apologize for what I did. It's like, forget what you did, even if you cheated or whatnot, because I wasn't perfect. But that one, she was a melon. But I don't know how long we've been on here, but this was episode 7 of Sippin' and Trippin'. I am your co-host, Miguel. I only regret one girl. Turley.
Alright, man. If y'all know any preacher's daughters out there for my boy Turley, it seems like he miss her. If Shawty, I don't know your name, man, but
She in a relationship. We don't even gotta do this.
oh,
I told you we follow each other. She in a relationship. I don't even know. I hope she don't listen to any of this. So,
alright, look, she may be flattered.
we just got back cool. I
Damn,
messed up that relationship.
God damn, bro.
I fucked it up. This was during college too.
Damn.
This was after my worst relationship.
Oh.
No, it wasn't that one.
Oh.
That one, she went live for the 5. But it was the one right after that.
She went live for the 5.
I could tell you off stream.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, we ain't gonna end it out. But I'm the other co-host, D White, aka like always. We appreciate everybody listening, everybody tuning in. Now we finally on social media with the pages. Shout out to my boy Turley for hooking up the Facebook page. I just hooked up the Instagram page.
It's sipping in because they wouldn't let me put the and sign. Tripping.
Oh, they would on Facebook.
Yeah, on Facebook. They wouldn't.
Yeah, they wouldn't let me do it on Instagram. I don't even know the Instagram one, but it's sipping and tripping underscore 215 if I'm not mistaken. I don't want to make sure. Yes, sipping, no G, and so it's sipping. The word and tripping, no G, tripping, underscore 215.
Okay.
That's the Instagram page. So, if we about to start posting a lot more, being a lot more active on social media, especially because of everybody that's tuning in to us, that's been rocking with us since day one. We appreciate it.
You say day one like that wasn't 7 weeks ago.
Hey,
8 weeks ago.
Day one. Shoot. It don't matter if it could be
close.
yesterday.
I mean,
Day one, bro.
Could have been today.
People that just tuned in, they didn't know. Like, we could have been doing this spread out.
I'm sorry. We've been doing this for 3 years.
It don't matter.
But yes, we about to end it out. Next week we're gonna be coming to y'all from a remote location.
Yeah, it's gonna be we probably won't be able to drop the episode like we want to on the day we usually do, but
it's gonna get driggity.
It's this next episode. The last couple episodes have been on some real stuff. This next one gonna be. It's gonna be one.
It's gonna be a lot of tripping.
We're gonna be tripping. A lot of sipping too.
Tripping, yeah.
It's gonna be a lot of sipping. It's gonna be a lot of tripping. It's gonna be a lot of laughs.
So we taking this is the second homie trip this year.
Yeah.
Second homie trip.
Yeah.
We got a few of us going.
Wish all the homies could make it. Obviously, prior obligations and finances,
wives and family and all that.
Families and all of that. Yeah.
All that overrated stuff. See, I didn't have to worry about none of that because I'm single, waiting on the one preacher daughter to come. Let me stop.
Yeah, you stop because you said she in a relationship.
We friends.
Stop. Yeah, friends. You just got back cool with her. Don't mess it up, dog.
That literally when I say just, it just.
When you say just, like how soon?
I want to say if it wasn't 2019, it's like very end of 2018.
It ain't even been a year. You gonna mess it up?
I messed it up because this, like I said, I'm lit. I'm lit, and that's the only thing I can say. So if she didn't say this, I'm sorry.
Let me get off.
But nobody gonna know because nobody really knew about their relationship. So
yeah, you really lobbying to try and get her back. That's what it sounds like. You
no,
lobbying.
I'm not gonna go back to any girl in my past. It's just the only girl I did regret.
You lobbying, bro. It's cool.
I'm lonely. But anyway, y'all have a good rest of y'all evening, y'all day, y'all night, y'all afternoon.
Like we said, as always, we appreciate the love, and y'all go out and show love, man. Y'all go out there and show love. It's free. It don't cost to show love. Appreciate everything. We love y'all. We out.